What's up, boys? Data782 here with episode 0, the intro episode of my new franchise mode series here with the Buffalo Sabres. At the end of my last franchise mode with the Honolulu Huskies, I asked all of you, what will our next franchise be? The Minnesota Wild, the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Buffalo Sabres? There were some votes for the Penguins and the Wild, but the winner by quite a bit, I believe, was the Buffalo Sabres. We need to save this team from the Pegula family and just the terrible management, and just from top to bottom, nothing's working, and this team really needs to be fixed. So getting into this episode, it's going to be mostly introductory. We're going to be looking at our team, at our strengths, at our weaknesses, what we're going to fix, probably change the coach, fix up the chemistry, and see what moves we want to make. But at the same time, staying realistic, because just going into a franchise mode with Buffalo and trading Skinner and Okposo and taking all that money and building around Jack Eichel and having him win the Art Ross Trophy and the President's Trophy in Season 1, none of that is really realistic. So I'm not saying we're going to keep Skinner and Okposo forever, but definitely want to keep it realistic. No one wants that Okposo contract, you know? So starting off this franchise mode, top players: Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Rasmus Ristolainen. 19,070 people fit in at the KeyBank Center, but all this stuff doesn't really matter too much because owner mode will not be on. We are in the Atlantic Division. I'm very happy to be back in the Eastern Conference. I have not done an Eastern Conference franchise mode since I did it with the Canadians, NHL 18. Shout out to anyone who was around for that. But quickly getting into it, owner mode off, fantasy draft off, salary cap on, firing off, CPU trades on, morale off, fog of war off, head coach edits lines, might as well say off because I don't even bother making him do it, auto owner mode, don't care about that, except blah 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 blah. And we don't want auto staff management because we want to make sure that we are building the right scouts and the right coaching. So we are ready to hit it, boys. Period length and skill doesn't really matter, but I might as well go into it just to quickly show you everything. 25-year franchise mode, if we can make it that far. Might as well go to Superstar, we're simming games anyways. Authentic pick ownership, trade difficulty to hard, waivers on. What else do we have? Auto scouting, none, because I will do actually just pro scouting, and auto staff management off. Going to advanced settings here. Let's see. NHL injury return warning only when he's fully healed, except if it's in the playoffs. Sim engine on medium. Continuous OT, all that good stuff. And I think that's everything we need to say. Just the sliders for injuries. Gotta always remember to fix up those. Injury, my goodness, 50. Usually around 15, 10 to 15 is usually the sweet spot. I've had it at like 10, 11, and I've gotten only like one injury a year. So you know what? Let's try it at 14. We'll see what happens there. If we're getting too many injuries, then I'm gonna make it go down to 13 or 12. But 14 on 100, you just want enough injuries to keep it realistic, not so much that you can't even get through a sim because you're constantly fixing your fourth line in the AHL. Aside from that, I don't really change game speed, skating, shooting. I know you can change all this to make shooting go up, to make scoring go up, turn off the offsides, etc. But we like to go in and watch the game as well in the playoffs, so we don't want to make it look wonky when we do so. The style is custom. I think it's for style, but anyways, that's because of the rosters. The rosters are technically custom because I just made some edits to some prospects. No one in the NHL was touched, but guys like Jamie Drysdale, I went from making him a medium top 4D to a medium elite D. Marco Rossi from medium top 6 to high top 6. Just little things like that. And Connor Zary, who's going to be drafted this year in the first round, like mid-teens, he was a high top 9. I changed him to medium top 6. Little changes like that just to be more reflective of the current day NHL, because these rosters are from March, so I just want to fix it up a little bit to be more reflective of how prospects are looking coming up to the draft. But here we are, boys, with the Buffalo Sabres ready to kick it off. Let's take a look at what this team holds for us. I don't really know who's on this team when it comes to the depth of like the prospects and stuff like that. Head coach will automatically, no thanks. All right, so of course we have Jeff Skinner. We're going to go through each player and talk about their situation. Jeff Skinner, 27 years old. He's a good sniper with 4-star shooting, 4-star puck skills, etc. 4.5-star skating. He fits most in the second line with his coach. We'll deal with the coach after. He is signed to an 8-year, $9 million contract. He did score 40 goals in 2018-19, which was a career high, but after this last season in 19-20, he is looking not that contract is just looking like a burden, to say the least. So Jeff Skinner, I know it's common to trade him and his contract, but I'd like to try and win with Jeff Skinner. We'll see down the road, but for right now I like him, and hopefully he'll be a big sniper for us if we can get the right chemistry going. At center, the piece that we're going to be building this entire franchise mode around, Jack Eichel, high elite, 22 years old, 91 overall, sims very well. He has 5-star everything except 3.5 physical and 4-star defense, which is still good. Faceoff's only at 75. I'm sure that'll grow. He is just a point-scoring machine. When he simulates, he scores even more than this. His best season in the game says that it was just an 82-point season, but he is an Art Ross kind of guy, a Hart Trophy kind of guy, and he is locked up for 7 more years at $10 million, which is great. Sam Reinhart will hopefully be his right wing for most of this franchise mode. Maybe Victor Olofsson, I don't know, but Sam Reinhart, 85 overall playmaker. He has 89 passing. He is signed only for 1 more year, so after this season, he's going to need an extension. I don't think he has an extension in place, so we'll have to give it to him. 4-star shooting, all that good stuff, medium elite potential. He is a very good player as well in franchise mode, so we can hopefully continue to build around him. Victor Olofsson is another great piece because he is a sniper who simulates well when given the right chemistry. We've seen how good he can be in the Anaheim franchise mode. He's on the final year of his entry-level deal, a former 7th round pick of 2014, so we're going to want to make sure that we grow him right at the age of 24, 82 overall. He could really be something good for us. Tage Thompson, I'd probably put him in the minors to start this year. Listed as a 4th-line forward, medium top 6 potential, a 1st-round pick in 2016 by the Blues. Big power forward, which is good for chemistry. Last year of his entry-level deal. I think he's going to play in Rochester, and so will Casey Middlestat. So we'll work on that, but a big 6'5" bellow, and like I'm saying, for most of these guys, you just got to grow them right. Marcus Johansson, he is a bit of about 2 years at 4.5, not the worst. He's a playmaker, 88 passing, 4-star shooting. Coach says that he fits best on the 1st line, but like I said, we'll figure out the coaching later. 28 years old, I think he's a pretty decent player. 95 discipline, 4-star skating, etc. So I like Marcus Johansson. Michael Frolik, 31 years old, 81 overall, 1 year left at 4.3 million. 2-way forward, very good defensive stats, 89 stick checking and all that stuff, and just a well-rounded player. Zemgus Girgensson, a former 1st-round pick of 2012, a bit of a fall from grace for the 2-way forward. I'd like to grow him well if possible. Is he from Latvia? I believe he is. Zemgus, so I'd like to grow him well. I want to keep him as my 3rd-line center probably at minimum, and hopefully he can just do something and not just have to get moved away as a 79 overall. Wayne Simmons, 31-year-old power forward. He came here at the trade deadline, but because of the franchise mode, he starts here at the beginning for us. He's on the last year of his $2.5 million deal. I believe who was retaining salary on that? The Devils? So yeah, the Predators, and went to the Devils. So Wayne Simmons, power forward. I wouldn't mind re-signing him. He's a pretty half-decent player, to be honest. And I think he could be good for us as a bottom 6 guy if we can get him re-signed. Vladimir Sobotka, 32 years old. This is another rough contract, but it will expire very soon. 1 year, 3.5 million. 2-way forward, nothing too crazy. A 4th-line presence. Kyle Okposo, this is the rough one. 4 more years at 6 million. He is a power forward, 81 overall. I see him as more of a sniper than a power forward, but maybe we could change him. I don't know, but he's 6 foot, 3.5-star physical. We'll keep him what he is for now. I'd like to really utilize Kyle Okposo. With 4 more years, we really got to make it worth our while. So I'd like to keep him on this team as much as possible. I know I could probably ship him off for a 6th-round pick or something, but no one would actually do that in the NHL. So we'll do what we can. Jimmy Vesey, I don't think that's a great contract. Okay, 1 year, 2.2. He's just been disappointing in general in the NHL. I think I would change him to a sniper, perhaps. He's not really a 2-way forward, and I don't just say that because of his stats, but the way he plays. 6'3", I guess he's like a 2-way forward, a shooting 2-way forward. I guess you could say that. 79 overall, medium top 9 potential. We'll see what happens. Now the defense is where we're a bit stronger. Rasmus Dahlin and Rasmus Ristolainen, 2 big boys on defense. Dahlin, 19 years old, high elite, 85 overall, great stats for 19 years old. He grows very quickly, and we know that he'll be great, so we want to build around him. Rasmus Ristolainen, he has 3 more years of 5.4 million. I know in the real world, the Finnish defender, that he's on his way out and people aren't too happy with him and he's not too happy with the franchise, but I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to try to get him to stick around because I like him and I think he can grow well. So I think it would be realistic to try and keep him with a new ownership group. Like I said, this team isn't bad in franchise mode. We could win fairly early. We don't want to do, I don't know if I want to do 25 years with this team. I just want to bring them back to glory, and I'd love for Rasmus Ristolainen to be part of that journey. Colin Miller, 26, low top 4D, 3 years at 3.875, not the greatest contract, but a solid two-way guy. He's playing with Brendan Montour. He's on an expiring deal, I think. Yeah, expiring deal for Brendan Montour, another two-way defenseman. Jake McCabe, 25 years old, 2 years at 2.8, not bad. And then Henry Jokiharju, really like Jokiharju, medium top 4D. He has 2 years left on an entry-level deal. I think he could be a big piece moving forward. I really like Henry Jokiharju, a former first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. The issue comes between the pipes, I believe, because Linus Ullmark, he does simulate well. I got to give him that. But I don't know at 83 overall if we can keep him long-term on an expiring deal. I don't know. Carter Hutton, I'm not super tied to. 2 years at 2.7. I'd probably trade him away. I don't know if anyone would want him, but I'd probably... that's not the worst backup goalie. I guess I'll keep him, but I've seen Linus Ullmark simulate very well, and it wouldn't be the end of the world to keep him. Scratch Johan Larsson, fourth line forward, two-way forward. I'll probably put him in to the lineup. Oh my goodness, Dominic Cahoon, forgot about him. I'll probably put him in the lineup when I send people down. Curtis Lazar, a big fall from grace, the former first-round pick of the Ottawa Senators. He'll be in the minors. Given the right chemistry, maybe he can grow a little bit, but Dominic Cahoon has to be in the lineup for sure. A third-line scoring forward, playmaker. I think he has the potential to really do well on this team. From Germany, he was traded over from the Penguins in the Connor Sheary trade. So Dominic Cahoon's going to be on this team for sure. So with that being said, let me just quickly, let's check out Rochester, of course. So Casey Middlestat, he is medium elite. Probably he is our best prospect in the system. In the real world, I think he's slacking a little bit. He's not looking fantastic for a kind of blue chip 8th overall prospect. But in this franchise mode, we'll try and grow him well as a playmaker. He already has 85 passing, so we'll do what we can. Remy Ellie, medium top 9, two-way forward, okay. Scott Wilson, 27 years old, CJ Smith, bottom 6. Jean-Sebastien Dea, medium bottom 6. Taylor Liar, no one really that we're looking to grow. Rasmus Asplund, medium top 9, maybe. No one really is going to grow in anyone. None of these players are going to make the team, really, except for Casey Middlestat. So we just got to build the right chemistry in Rochester. Defense, Lauren Pilot, I think we'll just call him. Low top 4D, undrafted. This guy could be something. He has good stats for 77 overall, but 23 years old is a bit of a buzz. Matt Hunwick's making money, right? Yeah, he's expiring. He'll be gone. Zach Redmond will be gone as well, I believe. They're 31 years old. Casey Nelson, John Gilmore, Brandon Hickey. Yeah, no one really of any potential. Goalies, Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar, and Jonas Johansson, high backup, third-round pick in 2014. So, okay, there's some hope there. A lot of people who are scratched here. Casey Fitzgerald, anyone medium top 6D, some medium top 9s here. Okay, and this guy Nathan, okay. 36 years old. So let me just quickly change the roster for how I think it would look with the call-ups and the send-downs. Give me a minute. So here's what we're looking like. I have Larson as second line center because that's the position I want to fill. Larson will then become my forward depth. But what I need is a second line center because I think Marcus Johansson plays center in real life, but here he only has 70 faceoffs. So I could put Johansson at center, and then I could bring up Cahoon, and then maybe Simmons goes here. I don't know, something like that, or even Frolik. Even then, I'm still missing a fourth line center, but I'd prefer to just play with the stats because Johansson having bad faceoffs is going to hurt a little bit. I could keep Johansson there, but I'd prefer to go out and get a second line center. Forward depth at the moment is Vladimir Sabatka and Matt Hunwick, but like I said, when a new center comes in, that'll likely change. For chemistry, we could change around the pluses with putting Olofsson on the top line, make it a +3. And then if we do that, we could bring... Okposo up, make it a +3, something like that. So there are a few ideas for the chemistry. On defense, Miller and McCabe could swap, get it a +3 in the bottom pair. Those are possibilities. Down in the AHL, the lines look like this. Middlestat with Lazar and Smith gives it a +1. There really aren't great options in the minors, so maybe I might go out and try to sign some free agents for the minors, because they're just all, like almost all of them are just two-way forwards, and that doesn't help the chemistry. Defense doesn't really help either. No one really great there, but +1s are better than nothing. So I just want to look at my trade value of my team here. What pieces are valuable? Of course, Eichel, Rasmus Dahlin, Middlestat, Reinhardt. Dylan Cousins, forgot about him. We have him in the CHL. Dylan Cousins is our future at center, another power forward. Very nice. Aside from that, that's pretty much it, though. I don't think we have anybody else really in the juniors. No. So Picard here, whatever this guy's name is. So we don't really have much to trade with. It would be draft picks, I guess. Even in the goalie category here, yeah, we don't have anything of value. So it would be, we go to probably the free agency first before I start looking at different trade possibilities, especially for a second line center. That's costly. Of course, I'd press go down, but these menus are so archaic that they don't want to listen. So we could bring back Jason Pominville, which would be really fun, to the Buffalo Sabres. That would be a great story. Bring back, he's already been back, but just bring him back some more. 60 face-offs, but I need somebody who can take face-offs. Thomas Vanek, another Buffalo boy who could come home. That would be interesting. We don't need defense, so just keep it at forwards here. Jamie McGinn, another, didn't he play on Buffalo? Jamie McGinn? Yeah, he did. He did play on Buffalo. Jimmy Hayes, Kruger, Pajärvi, Jussi Jokinen, legend, Chris Kunitz, legend, Dominic Moore. Now that is a man who can take a face-off. I love Dominic Moore. So maybe I go for that fourth line center route. I just keep Marcus Johansson at center on the second line, since that seems to be what I'll have to do. Marcus Johansson, second line center. Vanek can be a second line wing. Then I go ahead and sign Dominic Moore or Marcus Kruger for fourth line center. Just looking at face-off, 79, 80... Yeah, Dominic Moore is the face-off king. But yeah, of course, Torrey Mitchell. Torrey Mitchell played on the Sabres for a long time. Nice polo shirt there, it's looking good. Why does it say NA in the NHL? He played on the Canadiens and the Sabres, no? And even didn't he play on the Sharks? I forget. Van de Velde, yeah, forget it. So Dominic Moore, I'd like to get him. Yuri Laterra, another fall from grace. I think that would make sense, but like I said, this is just an intro ep, and you will let me know all your thoughts. Now we're going to look at a little bit of contracts here, because we said that we have expiring deals. So all expiring. Reinhardt, Montour, Olofsson all want extensions. So does Simmons, Cahoon, Gergenson's great. So it's just Frolik and Vesey that don't want extensions. Sam Reinhardt currently making 3.6. I could get him extended for 5.9. I'd want him to get long term, and that would cost a lot of money. We do have 24 million of extension. That would be pretty costly. Brendan Montour would be, oof, that's pretty costly as well. Victor Olofsson would be yikes, these guys really want a lot of money. Michael Frolik we would let go, which would free up some money. Yeah, Wayne Simmons would want 2.7-ish. Dominic Cahoon, 2 million or so. Yikes, so that's a bit of an issue. Tage Thompson, yeah, we'll get all these guys re-signed eventually, but any unsigned people? No one good. So yeah, that's going to be costly. We have to figure out what we're going to do in the money situation, because even though we free up money with Frolik and Hunwick or whatever, we still need money to re-sign people. That's the point where we may trade Okposo, but I wouldn't just dump him for a 7th round pick. Like I said, it wouldn't make sense. I'd have to try and give him and something to a team, make it more realistic. We'll figure it out. Let me know your thoughts for all you Buffalo boys who know more about the team than I do. Going to the coaching staff here, Castonguay, what's this guy's name? Cesar Castonguay, that's a nice name. He is 53 years old, 1 year left on his deal, A- coach, pretty good at everything, A- teaching, all that good stuff. 61% team fit, okay, we'll keep that in mind. Coop, what's this guy's? Caden Coop. Bukaboom, Enqvist. Okay, this guy's gone. E-rated. I don't even need to look at you. Kalle Enqvist, you're gone. So hire somebody better. Alec Rivers, he has 60% team fit, and these guys have good teaching. B-, C-, D-, A+ at least. This guy D- everything. I'm going to go ahead and fire him. And we're going to go to the coaches. Are there any better NHL head coaches who have a better fit. I don't know if there's many right now even available. No, none are even available. But as we've seen with Damien Palmieri in our Honolulu franchise mode, you can get a guy C- and he'll grow to A+. Just got to get the right team fit and everything. 58%, 53%, and 61%. The rest are all AHL coaches. So Antoine Garon, I think I'm happy to stay with Castonguay for the moment. I just got to hire a better goalie coach who has good teaching and penalty and special teams and all that good stuff. So let's see who has a good team fit and a good fit. Santiago Bellamy. These guys are both 66 up here. Do I want A- teaching, A- coach influence, and C on everything else? Or B on teaching and better on offense and penalty kill? Bad coach influence. You know what? I'll go for Santiago Bellamy if he wants to sign on as the goalie coach. Good thing about owner mode off is that you have money to not be held down by the broken coaching system. And then for AHL associate coach, we also want good teaching. This guy looks pretty decent. Goalies as well. Amrit Christie, 59% team fit. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Amrit, welcome aboard. AHL. Sorry, I need an AHL assistant coach. I was looking at associate coaches. He wouldn't accept. Okay, here are some A+ for teaching. Clayton Moen, 60% team fit. Yeah, let's go for Clayton Moen with that A+. Just 2 years because he's not very good. I'd like to get someone better eventually. So those guys will hopefully sign on. We're going to wait for the free agents. That's the team. Those are the contracts. If we went to the scouts now, the scouts, of course. So I am always very interested in making sure my scouts are the best as possible, as they may possibly be, and that there's a certain way to scout to uncover. Look, Raphaël Drouin de Laurier, quite a name. There's a certain way to scout to make sure that you uncover all the right things about the right prospects. So AHL scouts, you can go ahead and fire those right away. With Fog of War off, there's no reason to have them. Even with Fog of War on, I'm not sure if I'd have any AHL scouts. This guy's E-rated. I'll go ahead and fire him. I usually keep 1 or 2 pro scouts. And let's go ahead and just fire a couple of them. We're down to 11 scouts. I'll keep the Atlantic and the Metro scout for now, I suppose. But I need to hire some amateur scouts so we can uncover all that we can about the prospects. If you want to know about scouting, just go and check out my scouting video, my how-to tutorial on that. So we have 2 scouts in the NHL, 2 scouts in the USA. We need one in the we have one in the OHL, 1 in the Q, 1 in the Dub. We need to have at bare minimum, we need 2 in the WHL, 2 in the QMJHL, and 2 in the OHL. At the bare minimum, you need to have that because there are so many players that can be scouted. So go ahead and hire the best scout from all 3 of those regions. And they'll probably get fired eventually at C-rated. I'll fire them within a few years, but just for right now, gotta get the best ones possible. Next, gotta go to Russia. You need at least 2 scouts in Russia as well. I'm gonna go and hire 2 of them actually, because one of them was E-rated. So I'll get Ruslan Vorobyev and his brother Alexander Vorobyev. Are they the same guy? Vorobyev and Vorobyev. Different, very different. So both those guys C-rated. I'll go ahead and fire the E-rated Russia. So we have USA Central, we have USA East. USA Central is only B-rated though. USA East, he's A-rated, but USA West, he's A-rated. So you gotta make sure, you gotta see where are the scouts best. Not just because they're already there, you gotta see where are they best. He's best, see, he was in the East, sorry, he was in the Central, but he's only B. In the West, he's A, so send him to the A. This guy's only rated B in the QMJHL, so I'm going to fire him as well. I don't care if they're a B-rated scout, a C-rated scout, as much as I care as how they are in their region. Because if I want a guy from the QMJHL, but I go to look at his stats and he's C- in the QMJHL, then what's the point of having him? This guy's A-, which isn't ideal. A-, A+, all right, A+, that's what we like to see. Who is this, Marc Bergevin over here? Mathieu Bergevin. His son. Russia, we're getting them hired. Okay, so I've sent out 6 contracts and I have 9 scouts. That brings me to 15. So pretty much you want to have 2 in all the Canadian leagues, 1 in the US leagues. You want to have 2 in Liga, 2 in the SHL, 2 in Russia. SHL and Liga, I need another one of each of those. This guy's A+ in all 3 Scandinavians. So I'll go ahead and fire him and hire him. This guy's A+ in Liga. And then this guy over here is A+ in Allsvenskan. So we want to have lots of Scandinavian, European scouts who are able to do all the different areas, because some areas only take a few months to scout and then you already know everything. The NLA, we have a guy B- there. I'd rather have someone who's a bit better in Europe, especially for the Dell and the NLA. This guy could go to the Extra Liga, actually. Send him to Extra Liga. There you go, send him there. In the first few years, like the first 2 years, is not so much to scout, but once those generated players start getting created, you want to make sure that you scout every single prospect as well as you can. Go to Europe. Who's good at Dell and NLA? This guy's A+ in NLA. This guy's A+ in Dell. Perfect. Kristina Zerdev, Nikolai Zerdev's wife. And this guy's Joudry, but it says his name is Simon Geoffrion. I click on Joudry and it gives me Geoffrion. What's going on? Again, Simon Geoffrion tells me, okay, whatever, sign him up and see what happens. That's 11 contracts. I had 9 scouts. Yeah, so that's it. I'll hire all those guys. I'll send them where they're supposed to go, and then I'll reevaluate if there's anyone I should hire or fire after that. So there you go for scouting. Please leave any questions you have on scouting, and I'll get back to you. That's probably my most knowledgeable area of NHL 20 when it comes to scouting. Trade block over here. They have Okposo, Frolik, and Simmons on it. I guess that makes sense, to be honest. So the wants are pretty fair as well. So I don't think I'll touch the trade block. Just for an idea of if I went to find trade and I tried to trade Kyle Okposo, I doubt anything would even come up. I'd have to go and try and make it happen myself. No trade value and a terrible contract. Yeah, no one wants Kyle Okposo. If I tried to trade Jeff Skinner, already him as well. Great player, terrible contract. And that's what lowers the value. I could get 2/3 and Terry from the Red Wings, or 2/3 and Street from the Devils. So not worth it, I don't think, to make a trade like that. But that's pretty much it, boys, for the opening of this new franchise mode. It's pretty short. I just want to get all your thoughts on what we should do moving into our first season. Captain Jack Eichel, alternates Marcus Johansson, and Jake McCabe. Is that how it is in the real world? I'd probably give an A to Sam Reinhart down the road. I don't know, Jake McCabe, he can have an A for this season. Why not? He's been around the NHL. We'll figure. Let me know your thoughts as well for the free agents. If there's anyone that you, for the captaincy, if there's any changes you want to see made. So that's pretty much it, though, boys. Just for this opening episode, we are taking on the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know if it's going to be a 25-year sim. I could see us winning like 3 cups in 10 years or something even better than that. I don't think it'll be a super long series, but we want to be accurate and we want to be truthful, but we also want to build through maximizing our prospects, through drafting, and so forth. So the Buffalo Sabres, fear not, Buffalo Sabre fans. Data is here, and I will lull you to sleep with my sweet, sweet general managing talents. So really looking forward to getting into this franchise mode. Please let me know any and all thoughts on how we should fix this team and try to be a contender moving into our first season, because this team is a hopeful and we could make the playoffs. We're not trying to tank. We could have a very good season here. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so that you stay apprised to all the Buffalo Sabre uploads, as well as going to check out the Anaheim Ducks NHL 20 franchise mode, the Honolulu Husky NHL 20 franchise mode, and any of my other FIFA 20 or even SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated content here on the channel. So a new age has dawned in Buffalo. Very excited to get it going. And I'll see you in the next one when we kick off the 2019-20 season with us in the driver's seat.